Hello! Your favorite bathrobe girl is back and better than ever. Well, trying to be. It's Monday evening and I've had a long day of studying. Well, no, writing my thesis, which is what I've been doing every single day. And it's really hard not to just go insane because writing your thesis is the most difficult part of your university experience. You have to do it all alone. Nobody's gonna come and help you. Well, that's not entirely true. If you have a good supervisor and good fellow students, you should be able to reach out to people, but mostly it's your work. But I thought it'd be nice to share some things that I do for myself to keep myself sane, because that's so important. Nothing is more important than your own well-being. But we also want to thrive academically. But anyways, so this weekend I tried to be as productive as possible, but I also work all week. So you have to make a little bit of time for activities that are gonna recharge you. And you have to really get to know yourself to know what those activities are. So I know for a fact that I like to watch videos, but when I'm stressed, it can be kind of an escape that becomes very addicting. When I'm not stressed, I'm not addicted to watching social media at all, but once I'm stressed, it becomes such a big source of dopamine and escapism that I know I have to protect myself from that. So I try to plan as much non-screen related activities as possible. So what I try to do is when I first wake up in the morning, this is not gonna work for everybody, but instead of going on my phone as I would usually do, well, when I'm really free, I read a book, but on a typical day I would open my phone, but on this day I actually start by doing 2 hours of thesis work right when I wake up, because that way I feel like my brain is programmed to, it's a thesis day. And then the second thing that's so important is to keep seeing people, but also knowing when. And for me, that means I have to kind of schedule things last minute, because when I already know I have an appointment at 5, I feel stressed all day because I have a time limit. I need to get my work done before 5, and if I feel then everything is going to hell, which already makes me entirely unproductive that day. So I try to be a little bit spontaneous, which is difficult for me, but it's working out actually. So on Saturday, I went to the farmer's market with some of my girlfriends who are also all writing their either bachelor or master's thesis, just like me. So we could talk about it for like 1 second and then we shut up and we just have fun, talk about everything else that's going on. And we just had a lovely afternoon, but we also knew we all had to leave at a certain time, and then we all together went back to our work, which is also really nice knowing that you're not gonna be the only one missing out on the rest of the afternoon. We're all in this together, and that's a really important thing to realize, and that's why it's really important to stay connected with your fellow students while you're writing your thesis.
Oh my god, so are they new? No, they're not. Ooh. Ice hot chocolate.
Something that's also a non-negotiable for me is going on walks. I think I've been going on 2 walks every day consistently for the last couple weeks. Usually an hour in the afternoon and then an hour after dinner. It's so good for your digestion and it gives me a lot of time to think and sort all of my thoughts, because during the day I have no time to really process anything. And even though all I do is write my thesis, there's still stuff going on in the back of my head, and you need to give yourself time to process those, because you don't want to do that while you're trying to focus. So I really reflect and try to clear my mind. And I need movement to get focused. Your brain, it's just biology. You need to move your body in order to focus better. Something else that is a non-screen activity, which I love because it's kind of, I feel like it's kind of active, but it doesn't cost a lot of energy, so you're not gonna get really tired. But I love to cook. Crazy, I know, right? But I love to cook for my family and then eat together. And you know, even if you're living alone, you should cook for yourself, because I feel like if you take care of yourself, everything else will fall into place. I don't know why, but I believe this. So you need to give yourself nice, nutritious meals and have fun while doing it. Try a new recipe, you know, something that really gets you into the cooking mode, to take your mind off of your work, you know. It's not just a chore, but once you start treating it as a hobby, it gets so fun, and it's such a life skill that you want to have, because 1, you can impress people. 2, if you learn to have fun while doing it, you have a new fun hobby that you can do every single day. And 3, it's just so nice to be able to do that for yourself. I feel like it's an act of self-love to really nurture yourself. That sounds a bit weird, but you know what I mean. I've said it before, but I'll say it again. I love going to the movies. Yesterday I went for a little evening walk with my friend, and then we watched the Darjeeling Limited, which I'd never seen, but they were replaying it in the cinema. It was so good. I didn't know it was gonna be that funny. But I love going to the cinema because it's a fun evening activity to do if you're low energy, want to be a little bit social, and you don't want to go to like a bar or something, really go out or drink. You don't have to do any of that. It's the perfect thing. I have a Cineville card, so I can, like with a subscription, I can enter any cinema, which is hands down the best thing I've ever gotten for myself. now in the theme of self-care, I am gonna try to dye my eyelashes because they're so light. I don't know if you can tell, it doesn't really focus, but they're pretty light. I don't know if it's gonna work. I've tried this before and it didn't really work, but maybe I just didn't do it very well, so we're gonna try again. Because I kind of want to feel my very best tomorrow, because tomorrow is a big day, because after April, May, June, because after a year and 3 months, my braces are finally coming out. It was quite difficult to apply, so I really hope it works. But we'll see. I'm giving Twiggy a little bit. Just had a little strawberries and whipped cream snack, which was so good. And I don't know if you can tell in this lighting, but I think it worked pretty well. I'm not entirely sure if I actually like it. In this lighting, I do like it, but in the bathroom lighting, it was a bit too harsh against my pale skin. But it's nice to know that it works. I am so exhausted, guys. So I'm gonna do a tiny bit of work from the comfort of my bed, because that's the only way that it's gonna happen, in all honesty. So thank you so much for watching this video. I'm super excited for tomorrow, which will be the next video of the big day. If you're working on your thesis or anything else, hang in there. We got this. It's almost summer. Mwah.